Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to show you how we build and turn a small plastic tub into a place where we grow our chicks. Alright, so here we go. This is how we're going to turn this plastic tub into a place where we're going to keep our chicks here in a few weeks. So we got our tub, we got a few things in here we'll go over in a second. We also got our flakes. This is what we'll put as bedding in the bottom for the chicks. There's two kinds you can get, and that's flake or fine. We like to use the flake just because I think it's a little bit healthier for the chicks. I feel like the fine has more dust and stuff that they can ingest and could cause problems. The other thing you're going to need is feed. So there's a couple different kinds of feeds you have for chickens. You have starter, grower, and then layer. So this is the starter grower that's specifically made for chicks, and it's a crumble, so it's a really small feed that they can eat really easily. So this tub we got at Costco. You can get them at Walmart, very similar. We like this one in particular because it's sturdy. It was cheap, it was about 10 bucks, and it's got a nice laid-in center here that we'll do something with here in just a second. We'll show you. So inside here, got a couple of things that we're going to need also in addition to all this stuff. We're going to need a heat lamp. These are about, I think it's about 8 bucks at Tractor Supply. You can get them other places as well. And then a bulb for your heat lamp. In the past, we've used just normal incandescent bulbs, like 100-watt bulbs like this. And those will work, but I think it gets a little bit colder here than where we were at before, so this will probably work best. These are pretty simple to put together. You literally pull these out, put the bulb in, and attach the top here. Now for food and water, pretty simple here. For feed, as they get started when they're really young, they won't need a whole lot of feed right off the bat. So it's got a simple feeder. This little plastic cup thing here, and I don't know if you can see this. So basically, you put the food in, and then on top, screw it down, you turn it over, and the feed comes out these little holes right here. All in all, each of these pieces is probably 3 or 4 bucks each. So this is like something we've had before. Same plastic cup from the feed thing, and then a little bottom for water. And it's got a little spout here where the water comes out, so you basically do the same thing like before, fill this up with water, screw this on top, then you turn it over and water comes out that little spot right here. These things are okay. I really don't like them a whole lot because the problem is that the chicks get on these, they get on top and they tilt over, the water goes everywhere, they poop in here, and it just gets really messy in there. It's hard to clean, you have to clean the water all the time. So I do not use these. We'll get started on the heat lamp here. Pretty simple. So it just comes stuffed inside here, so we'll pull this out. Put our bulb in there. It looks just like any other bulb pretty much. It's just got kind of like a red color to it. We'll go ahead and put it in the socket. Now this guard is actually super important for this light, and that's because this light bulb actually gets really hot, really hot. So if it were to fall and not have this guard on there, it could start a fire really easily. So you have to be really careful with these heat lamps. So let's get started. We'll build the bottom up. We'll put all the water and the food and everything in here, and then we'll talk about the top. So we got our shavings right here. So we'll go ahead and open them up carefully. Okay, what you want to do is get about probably like 2 inches or so on the bottom of these shavings, because what this is going to do is kind of like trap some of that heat and keep the chickens nice and warm at night with the heat lamp. And you're going to spread it out nice and evenly. So you want them to be nice, to be able to have like 2 separate spaces. Basically the space where they're going to like huddle up, stay warm and sleep, well, it should be this side, and this is where the heat lamp is going to be over here. And then their place where they're going to have food and water. So let's talk about the cover. Obviously, this is not going to work like it is right now because you want the chickens to be able to have lots of airflow, and you want the heat lamp to be there. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut open a section here of the top with our Sawzall, basically. Okay, so to get this started, take a 1-inch hole saw and kind of go right in the corner. And safety first, or for me second. I should have worn them first. Make sure to wear some safety glasses for this because this stuff chunks off and could go right back in your eyes. Perfect! This is exactly what we want. So we got our thing here. That's what we just cut. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut just a few holes in the tops here. What this will do is we're gonna cut some chicken wire to put over here. Then we're gonna secure it down to this with some zip ties. And these holes will allow us to be able to do that. So before I actually get the screen on top of here, I had a thought and actually went to the store and got a few things. So this watering bucket actually takes up quite a bit of space, and I may save this for use outside somewhere, but I'm actually gonna disregard this for now. So what I'm gonna do instead is I have our little waterers here. I was thinking, why can't I just put these in the wall of this bin here? And then I'm basically gonna take some vinyl tubing and connect to the outside and then through a big bucket like this. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but if you can just get it just big enough to kind of click in there once, then you can basically screw it on. Just keep in mind that these don't have to be watertight seals because we're going to be connecting the tubing on the back, but we want it up against the wall as close as possible so the most is sticking out the back. So you can see here. Got our hose, and this is just going to slide on basically. Now we have these T-connectors. What these will do is they will fit right inside of these watering lines. But what we're also going to use is these little clamps just to make sure they stay nice and tight. And this will connect to that single line, double line that we just put together. The other part of this is going to be the bucket, right? So how do we get a line out of the bucket and into the vinyl tubing? Well, I have this little barb guy here. So what I'm going to do is I have a drill bit that is just the right size for this guy. So I'm going to drill into the bucket with this, and then I should be able to thread this into the bucket and it'll be a watertight seal. What I'm going to do also is use a little super glue to kind of keep it in there and create a tight seal. So you want to make sure to go as low as you can so you get the most water out of that bucket. Just right. That's as much as you want it to go. You want it to be a nice tight fit, so you're going to have to use a wrench to tighten it down. That's exactly what you want, so it creates a watertight seal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a little bit of super glue to the inside of this just to help with that watertight seal. Okay, the last line we're going to connect is the line that runs from this up to the bucket. Really wanted to make it a little bit longer than you think, just because you're making a cut. So I'm going to make it about 3 feet long, just so I can sit it up on something and have it gravity feed down. So this will be nice and ready to go once that bucket is dry. Which is the stuff. We figured this would be best to keep the chicks in and stuff out, but give good airflow, and it's fairly sturdy. This was only about 10 or 11 bucks at the store, and it's 10 feet long and just about the right width that we need for this project. So I'm gonna measure it to the center right there. We're looking at 19 inches by 29, so easy to remember. It's kind of a pain in the butt to work with, but you wanna at least try and unroll it a little bit, and that'll help it stay flat on the ground. Perfect. Oh man, that's perfect. So we'll probably clean up a little bit around the edges after we get it zip tied down, but yeah. So we just got the small 4-inch zip ties for this, and it should work perfect. So now I'll just snip off the excess of the zip ties. So let's get the tub back in here. Man, this is looking good. We're almost there. So I'll just go ahead and put this in here just to see what everything will look like. We'll get our top on. Perfect. Man, that is going to look great. I can't tell you how excited I am. Then basically, when we're ready to go, we'll put the heat lamp on this side and we'll mount it to something. Not sure yet, but we'll figure it out. Okay, got our bucket with our spout that's all dried on there. We're gonna get one more of our little hose clamps. It's over and seat this up on that metal. Okay, so now comes the moment of truth. I'm gonna go get some water, pour it in, and see if we have any leaks. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any leaks, so we're gonna kind of have to finagle this. Set the bucket over here, as long as it's above the little watering nipples. So we gotta take the top off here because the nipples won't even let any air through, so it's kind of just creating air in the lines. So if we want to test to make sure it's waterproof, we gotta push on the nipples. Maybe lift the water bucket up a little higher. So that's pretty much it. It looks great, no leaks from the water. So I went ahead and emptied all that water out. Now all we have to do is get our chicks in. We'll put them in here, add water to the watering bucket, add food to the food bucket, and turn the heat lamp on. Otherwise it is all ready to go, and this is probably the best setup that I've had for chickens in a long time. This will work really well. All in all, probably about $40 to $50, somewhere around there. But yeah, I would highly recommend doing this route just because it'll make your life easier in the long run. So thanks a lot, y'all. We appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead and put them down below in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. If you haven't already, please consider clicking on the subscribe link below. Also, we have the video that YouTube recommends for you down here to your left, as well as our most recent video to your right.